I'm joined by a founder who secured $63,000 in corporate grants, aka free money. Yes, free money with zero equity given up and no fancy connections. So, Courtney Ray is proof that when you pitch with clarity and confidence, you don't always need investors to get started. So, we're going to unpack her journey, how she shifted her mindset, and what others can learn from her wins.
I am the founder and CEO of Courtney Ray's Peanut Brittle. We're an award-winning candy company based here in Austin, Texas, and we are in the business of creating tomorrow's nostalgia today.
I love it. And so when you first realized that you needed capital, how did you choose from, hey, I'm going to go the investor or the grant route? Because the grant route is kind of still under the radar for a lot of founders. So how did you figure out what was right for you?
In the beginning, it was just like do the thing. I had like a little bit of savings. I went after it, and then slowly I started getting some big wins, some sales. My first pitch experience was with HEB's Quest for Texas Best. I got first place, and that came with a cash prize. Oh, the light bulbs went off of, oh, there are grant opportunities available. I tried to be on the lookout for them and started to apply to them. And it was after I think quite a few rounds maybe of applying to grants that I, connected with you in that early on phase. It's smart to kind of use grants while you're still kind of getting a clear path down. And to me, that seems like the best time to maybe lean towards an investor.
So you won multiple grants, 4 to be exact, which is unreal. But the coolest part, and I mean, I don't want to give it all away, right? But like the
I will
difference in 5. Oh my God, 5. We have updates.
Yeah.
So 5 grants. What was that shift from 1 to multiple? Like what changed in between? How much different effort was spent, or was it a really similar process?
In terms of process, the first one I won was a Quest for Texas Best, but I didn't have any luck again until I connected with you. You really helped me really redefine and clarify the story of my company and how to tailor my other like the big grant asks. I think that my first grant, it was less about like here's what you're gonna go do with it. And I feel like grants online, they're so focused on what are you going to accomplish with these things. And I feel like that was a weakness that I had, and you really helped me with. And so I think there was the one, and then the pause, and then connect with Kat, insert increased levels of grant wins.
So you went for some pretty big public grants, meaning that, hey, they might seem a bit competitive, but was there any part where you almost didn't apply to some of those because you felt like they were too competitive? And if so, what was that mindset shift?
I think I got better. I'm going to repeat things I've learned from you, which is I got better about reading the terms and conditions, making sure I was actually a good fit for the grant. And then once I actually found a grant where I thought, wow, I might actually be a great fit for it, I would schedule time with you, and then we'd make sure to tailor everything. That way I was putting my best foot forward, which really helped me feel like I am qualified for this grant. I can win this. I have a great chance. That's a very confidence boosting.
So what kind of benefits did winning grants provide besides just the cash? Because the cash is awesome, but there were some other things that came from it that seemed to be really powerful and impactful for the business.
Yeah, I mean, with the Amber grant win, that was one. I know with the
$10,000?
yeah, that one it's a very prestigious grant. I can't believe it. So, and I feel very honored that I was chosen. And it feels very, exciting to me, it feels more exciting to accomplish my business goals like with other people. It's way more to me like it's like the notion like everything tastes better when you share, like it's more fun to win together.
What would you say are the biggest differences? So in that stretch where you weren't winning grants to, oh my gosh, one hit, another hit, what changed in the language and how you pitched about your story to make that happen?
Literally everything. Okay, so let's think back to everything you taught me to do. Okay, so one, I wasn't reading the terms and conditions all that much, like wasted a lot of time applying for grants then. And like positioning yourself is, to me, it's like one of the most important things. With my grant language, I think I was better about if it's impact thereafter, whatever kind of like the grantors are hoping for. You mentioned that in your application. Also help me kind of, I feel like my business story as a founder is way more than just, I'm Courtney Ray and my Uncle Ray had a brittle recipe. I was like, I went to the Peace Corps. my uncle already sent me brittle there. They loved it. I came back, crowdfunding campaign using brittle to help change a woman's life. It changed her life. It changed mine. But like, how do you sum that up on a grant application that in a very impactful message? And so you kind of help me clearly define, dates, spell out things of like, some people don't really even know what the Peace Corps is, and briefly speak to the right types of topics that told a very cohesive story that was focused on the brittle. Fine-tuning my business story was a big one that we worked on. And then another was, when you're asking for the money, what are you going to do with it, and how will it drive revenue, drive visibility? It's like everything's tied to an ROI. You also helped me work that formula. And so, like, making that formula, now I can clearly speak to the real impact that this grant will help me create.
So, for founders overwhelmed by grant applications,
Yes.
what advice would you give them on how to stand out or even batch their time? You won 5 grants, but you weren't spending hours every single day, right? Like
No, yeah, I got better about, like, I think you mentioned at one point, do a Google alert. I did that, and I got better about really thinking through, am I really the person that they're looking for on this? And looking to the past winners, what types of companies were they? I think that really helps minimize and focuses you on what grants to actually spend your time on. And then when you do qualify for that grant, go for it with everything you got.
So you've expressed before that the ROI that you've had from Power to Pitch has been really high. What would you say to someone on the fence about investing in support from us?
One, I signed up for the Power to Pitch programming with the group, and where I thought even the intro course with the videos that y'all mentioned, each video so impactful, clear examples of I learned best by example. And I think that's what I learned from you, is like, you would say, no, kind of workshop it this way. And when I have a clear example, it's really easy for me to like take it and replicate and so apply it to my business. And so y'all give very clear breakdowns of how to work your pitches and how to use data. I can't sing y'all's praises enough. Game changer times 10,000. And as someone who's had the honor of seeing your brain work, wow.
You're too kind. Oh, thank you. I love it because I think so many founders, they think they're like, oh, I'm the only one who has this problem. And then when you really look at it, I'm like, oh, it's the same 5 problems that you see over and over and over and over again. And so it's less lonely than you think. And so I appreciate you sharing that. And I have to ask too, like, winning that amount of money, that's more money than an average angel investor check. Like, and that is cash in the bank. It's incredible. So what did winning those grants unlock for the business that would have taken longer if they didn't happen at all?
Yeah, I mean, just the opportunity to really, rise to, I would say, like, meet my peers and competitors and try to gain more traction in the marketplace, much more quickly than I would have. I don't know that I would have had ability to do that at this time, with a smaller consumer packaged goods business. I'm really excited for the plans we have this year.
You don't actually do this full time. You spend a lot of time, but you also have some support in another role. And I want to share that because I think that's so normal. People think, oh, I have to be full time in this business or spend every second of it, but you can still win grants. And if you need a little bit more outside of the business to sustain yourself, it's normal and it's okay. And you're a clear example, like, won a ton of money, but still got to have both at the same time.
The safer bet towards building the life that you want. And to me, when I look at grants, I always think, and some will say in the terms, you must be a full-time founder from your company, which I think, okay, that's not me just yet. But some of them, if they don't mention it, I think that a lot of these grants are out there to support people who are just like trying to make their dreams come true and like just need a little bit of support to help them get there. So I don't think I would let having another role stop you at all from applying.
What do you wish someone told you about grants before you started applying for them?
Literally everything you told me. Call Cat Weaver now. Grant writing is a process. Follow the formula. And it's you write, you rewrite again. And you keep trying and you change and make sure you're a right fit for what you're applying for.
Or a founder who's struggling with a little bit of self-doubt. You've pushed through a lot of barriers in the business. I know how hard it is. I had consumer product and just being a founder in general. It's so,
Yeah.
so, so hard. It's so mental, but you've
Yeah.
stuck through a lot. You persevered a lot and had a lot of big wins and achieved a lot of incredible things. So for someone who's sitting on a great idea with no capital, maybe feeling a bit of imposter syndrome, what would be your advice to them?
Work on your grant so that way your pitches are confident and strong, you know, and believe that you can build something and go do this thing. And then also one foot in front of the other. Like just try it because you might be able to do it really great. Everybody struggles with self-confidence. I do every day. But I think to myself, well, like, okay, why don't I just go try to do it anyways? Here's something I started telling my friends too. You overestimate what you can do in a day, you overestimate what you can do in a week, but you underestimate what you can do in a year. I've started doing that with my business where, because it's so easy to be like, oh, I didn't get enough done today. Like, am I doing this well? I don't know. And then, but at the end of it, every year, I write down all the things I accomplished that year with my business. And I'm like, wow, like, I really did a lot. I'm proud of myself. So just go forth, one foot in front of the other. Don't worry about anything else.
I love, love, love your journey and appreciate you sharing the time because you went in with not a lot of experience, willing to take risks, put in the work too. Like a lot of founders think like, oh, I'm just gonna throw this in and not keep trying. Like there was a ton of rejection in between. And I love that about your story is that you kept persevering through it and put yourself out there, joined us, asked the tough questions, put in the work, and clearly it's paid off. And so I'm so proud of you and what you've done and can't wait to see what you keep accomplishing.
Well, thank you. And it's been so fun to, it's been the best to work with you. And I love being able to call you a friend and in the CPG, this entrepreneurial space. And so, yeah, stay tuned. I'm sure I'll be calling you soon.
I know it.
Or something.